I am so happy to be able to introduce to everybody Char Lim, who is a dentist based out of the Philippines. And I thought it would be so awesome to be able to talk to a real life dentist, just because I think that as we're like fanning out over Hometown Cha Cha Cha, that actually was like a main part of the character. So just to like get into the conversation. So, Shar, you are a dentist and a K drama fan. I'm curious, what kind of reaction did you and maybe other dentist friends have when you learned that the heroine from Hometown Cha Cha Cha, Hyjin, was a dentist?
Yes. Okay, so actually we were really excited for Kim Seon Ho because it was his next role post startup,
Yeah.
right? So startup as it aired here was really a big thing. So there was like a lot of online debates on whether Dalmi, the female lead, was gonna end up with either Han Ji Pyong or Good Boy, which is
Yes.
Kim Seon Ho's character, right? Or versus Nam Do San. So it was like there were a lot of fights
Yeah, and
basically.
there still are.
So there still are, yeah. So this was like Hometown Cha 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 was like his redemption drama
Mm.
for us, for a lot of us fans of him. So knowing that the female lead was playing a dentist was just like extra cherry on top of the cake or something there. And um because a lot of dentists aren't usually portrayed as nice characters. Normally we're portrayed as the scary characters, right? So like when you watch Finding Nemo, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, good point.
Uh-huh. Right? So it's not usually a fleshed out character where the profession is actually a big part of the story.
So, not to segue too far out of this, but when you bring that up, I'm just curious. We did a podcast on
Mhm.
Megan and I on Strangers from Hell. And I don't know if
Oh,
you've
I haven't watched that.
okay, but that's the one where it's like
Horror
Lee
is
Dong
not
Wook
my thing.
being
Yeah,
the
yeah.
and he's a
I like him. I
dentist.
like him more. Yeah, I like him more in rom-coms.
Yeah, not as
Like
the
God.
serial killing dentist.
Yes, so I haven't watched it.
Okay, so
Mhm.
you do not have a bracelet of human teeth in your own house.
No, we don't. But I do collect my daughter's teeth
That's,
as it falls out.
do you do tooth fairy in your house?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But I'm a really cheap fairy.
What's the going rate?
Super cheap. So I have to set the bar really low.
Oh, that's so funny.
So there's nowhere to go but up.
Perfect. I think that's the way to do it. We messed up in our house
Yeah.
once, and my husband put like $5 in for the tooth fairy, and then
Oh,
after
that's
that,
a lot.
it's only been disappointment after that because I'm like a quarter.
You should start with $1.
Yeah,
25
exactly.
cents.
So one thing that I was thinking about is I don't know. Have you watched Hospital Playlist?
Yeah, I'm a
Okay,
big fan.
great. So like when I
Mhm.
watch shows like that, I always wonder like how much are they getting right or not right, in like the doctor life. So like when you were watching Hometown Cha Cha Cha, like what part of like the dental aspects felt authentic to you or what parts maybe missed the mark?
So I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
Um, so the part where, do you remember when Gamri was hesitating to have implants
Mhm.
get
That was so
uh,
sad.
I know. So for us, we have a lot of elderly patients who are really hesitant on spending money on themselves.
Mhm.
So it's a bit, in a way, they also don't want to spend a lot of on themselves because they feel that, sorry, it sounds morbid, but they don't have a lot of time left
Mhm.
anyway. So why spend a lot? Something like that. But it's really, really the hometown cha 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 really gets it right in the sense that elderly dental health is very important. So they could eat, they can
Mhm.
have all the nutrition they need,
Yeah,
and
that
they
was a
can live
big
longer
part that she
lives.
was talking about.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
mm-hmm.
and then it was so nice to see her be able to like eat squid and
Mm-hmm.
things for like, the rest of
Yeah.
the time she had
Uh-huh.
left. And
How about sexual harassment? Sometimes it does happen. Uh, It didn't happen to me, but I once had a stalker patient.
Oh, really?
I interned once at a government hospital, and I had a patient who found out my phone number, and he kept calling,
Ugh.
and he was a psych patient.
Oh no.
So there, I know. So we had to change numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
What else did hometown cha 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 get right? Dentists getting invited to schools to teach oral hygiene to little kids. That was so spot on
Yeah.
with the dancing and everything and all the props.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
I think a lot of us dentist fans, our ovaries just collectively exploded.
When you saw Susan Ho doing the dancing.
Yeah, doing the dance and every day with the song.
Yeah.
And that was great. And then I was actually surprised that they showed some scenes where Hyejin was attending. They mentioned her going to like a conference,
Mhm.
and they showed a scene where she was reading an actual dental journal
Okay.
in her free time. Yeah. So there were small details like that, which was um, ordinary viewers wouldn't pick up,
Right.
but for us dentists, it was like, wow, we are seen and validated.
That's so awesome. So one question I have
Yeah.
that was different from like how we would like experience the dentist in the US was
Mhm.
there were times when she was doing some dental work where she put the like a face
Oh, yeah.
covering over. Is that something that
No, we don't do that here.
okay.
Actually, it feels very claustrophobic, I
Mm.
would think, for the patient. Maybe it's a Korean thing,
Yeah, I was just
but
curious
I get
about
what
it.
you mean. It's like doing an operation in an operating room where they just only expose the parts where you're working on.
Yeah. And maybe
But
it's
I would
meant to be
suppose,
like reducing anxiety because you don't see the tools coming in or something. I
I
don't
see.
know.
Maybe, yeah. But for our practice, a lot of patients do like to watch TV or movies
Yeah.
while they're having dental treatment done. So I think it's the same like in the US, right? Where you have dental offices with TVs.
Yes. And I get very bitter because our dental office is really nice and fancy and has a big TV, and then they don't turn it on. And so I lay there and I'm like always like, just turn it on. Like, why can't we just and then also the pet peeve is when they ask questions, but like you're somebody's like in your mouth.
is
Yeah. And they're like, so what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr."
But we do actually understand what you're
Okay.
saying. Just like Michonne and Yun Chol, the
Yeah.
police guy.
Yes.
That scene was very funny for us because there's actually such thing as like dental patient speak.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we actually do understand most of what you're saying.
I really love that.
While you have
So, if you could open up a dentist practice in any fantasy location, because I was thinking it was very idyllic to have a dentist office right on this,
in a
next to the
seaside.
sea.
Actually, it was nice. But personally, for me, I would like to, well, not really open a practice, but like even intern at a
Mhm.
practice in Japan, maybe, because their Japanese dentists are on the cutting edge of, dental tech.
Oh, really?
They manufacture a lot of stuff. Also, a lot of products also come from Japan. Yeah.
Okay.
Running a practice is actually very, very stressful. If I had, honestly speaking, if I had to redo my life, I wouldn't open a practice.
Oh, really? So, what would
Yeah.
you do?
I would rather work for someone.
Okay.
Maybe not. We'll see. It's not looking very good right now.
Okay.
At least for us here. I think in the US, you guys are kind of almost normal, living normally, right?
Yes, and this
So
was
here,
kind of
there's a lot of fear.
yeah. That was my question.
Mhm.
Was going to be how is life like being a dentist in COVID?
So I'm in some dentist groups on Facebook where there are a lot of dentists from the United States. So I know they're not as afraid of COVID as we are. So here, people are also afraid of going to the dentist, and then we also wear a lot of PPE and stuff. Even though the risk is low, the simple fact of going out of the house, it's scary because you don't know who has COVID.
Right.
Here, it's not as normal as you guys you
Yeah, I
guys
was
are
reading a
like,
little bit that it's still considered to be like there's a high impact
yeah.
to life.
Uh-huh.
And it's not that, I mean, here I think we're such a big country too
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm,
it seems
mm-hmm.
to be moving, it moves around where like the high
Uh-huh.
areas of impact are. And so, for example, for where we are in California, there have been
Mm-hmm.
times where, yeah, everything was obviously shut down, or like we would have thought twice to go to the dentist. And then,
Uh-huh.
once I think in my area, vaccination rates just became so high that now I think we're having a more normalized time. Whereas areas that are not as vaccinated right now, or where there's a lot of people that aren't wanting to be vaccinated, that's where we're
Oh.
seeing like the pandemic shifting.
Kids here still don't have face-to-face classes, and maybe they
Okay.
want, yeah, they still won't have any face-to-face classes maybe for the next year, for maybe for another year. But the good news is they're starting to vaccinate 13 to 7, I think 13 to 17 year
Yes.
olds. Yeah, and they're starting that actually this week.
Okay. So that
Yeah,
will
so
be a
it's a
big,
start. It's a start to normalcy, I hope. Yeah.
yeah. So we are probably, if that's where you're at right now, I would say that was probably us in like April.
Wow.
And so that,
Okay.
because my son was able, they did 11, or they did, yes,
Uh-huh.
11 and up, or 12 and up. And so he was able to
Mhm.
be in that first wave of like older kids getting vaccinated.
We miss treating patients the we miss treating patients like normal. We get
Mm-hmm.
to talk to them normally, and then we get to ask them about normal stuff like they're,
Yeah.
because a lot of we have a lot of patients who are our friends also.
Yeah.
So when we do dental visits now, it's really very fast and very short. There's really not enough time for small talk because we're just in a hurry to get them in and out quickly to make way for the next
Mm-hmm.
patients. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard for us. So when we're watching Hometown Cha Cha Cha, it's like, oh, we're living in this fantasy world where we're practicing dentistry normally without any heavy
Yeah.
PPE and stuff. There, it's like they don't have COVID.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something I like kind of put to you as one of the questions
Uh,
was, one of the things I've been wondering is, obviously this drama has been very popular. I
yes.
think the cast made it popular
Mm-hmm.
as well. But also I think it's that sense that in this like kind of COVID world, there's like so much community and
Yes. Yes.
connection within like the drama that I think everyone, no matter where you are in the world, we're missing that,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh. Actually, it's a very good cast. There's hardly any filler characters. I
Right.
know, right?
I was impressed with that too, because at the beginning, I think that I didn't necessarily feel like that small town cast was going to be as like kind of well developed as it turned out to be, because I felt like by the end all of them had
Yes,
such good
they
stories.
all had backstories, right?
Yeah. So I really
I
enjoyed
think
that. So
it's
just kind of broad.
mhm.
Oh, go ahead,
I think
please.
it's my best of 2021. Sorry, I'm biased because it's Kim Sean Ho, but it's my best of 2021.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think you are not alone in feeling that way. So, and that kind of segues into just like some general questions I have about like K dramas in the Philippines. Like I was reading about it a little bit before talking to you, and I saw that they seem to have like really become broadcast widely on TV, like in the early like 2000s.
Yes, yes. I don't know if you still remember they referenced a drama in Cloy in Crash Landing on You. I think it was Stairway to Heaven. Do
Mm-hmm.
you remember there's a scene there with the young North Korean soldier character, and he was
Yes.
addicted to um this certain K drama, and he was many
Yes.
years too late. It was like 20 years too late in watching it, right? So I think that was Stairway to Heaven, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really, really
Okay.
big drama before. So before Netflix in the early 2000s, they used to show like 30 minutes of K drama.
Okay.
For example, Stairway to Heaven, 30 minutes each day, every day. And they would
Okay.
dub it in Filipino. But back
Okay.
then, I wasn't that really interested. But I did watch a few, like Lovers in Paris. My addiction really started when Goblin came out.
Okay.
They didn't even show Goblin in Netflix yet, and then I watched it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Goblin, when I finally started checking out what was in Netflix, I started with The Heirs. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yes,
The,
Amy is a very, very big fan of Heirs.
really, it's like so good. It's so bad. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, we
Something
really
like that.
loved Kim Woo Bin in it. I feel like
Oh yeah.
that's the only Kim Woo Bin I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really, really, yeah, I loved it.
His other popular one was Uncontrollably Fond.
Yes, which Amy watched and was traumatized by. I decided not to watch it because Amy was traumatized by it.
The Ears is such a classic. It
Yeah.
has like the three-way wrist grab, the fish lips kissing, the fancy sweaters.
Blown away, I think, being in California of like how they portrayed, especially the first couple episodes of like life in California.
There was a surfing bit.
Yeah, and the guy just like grabbed the red bean powder and started snorting it because he thought it was drugs. Like it was just like bananas.
And so that started it for me.
Yeah, so that was your gateway. Yeah. So in that love triangle, were you like a Lee Min Ho fan, or were you more Kim Woo Bin?
Lee Min Ho.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed King, the Eternal Monarch.
Yes.
Okay, it's like a lot of people are divided on that, but I really liked it. And if you watched it as it was airing, there's a lot of the discussion on Reddit was really, really good. Somebody actually made an Excel file like this character, there's this character, and his doppelganger would be this character.
So they put it all together to help. Oh, that would have been helpful for when I was watching it.
Because when I was watching it, I was confused.
Yeah, of like who's who and when's where. Yeah. Well, we do think that drama has probably, I think, one of our favorite K-drama scenes, which was Lee Min Ho on the white horse.
Oh yeah,
riding to like
she's the queen of
Korea.
Which never happened.
Yeah, and that never happened, and hashtag never over it.
I heard your frustration there. They never talked about it again.
Never talked about it again, and why? I mean, it was like the whole setup, and then they were like, nope. I think because they just wanted to do that ending, like, cute montage of them going on dates throughout time, which they still could have done, even if they were like, she was the queen. So that's all right. So what are you watching right now?
So I'm watching Tomorrow with You. I have a lot of K-dramas, like I stopped halfway to make way for the ones that are leaving Netflix. So I stopped Squid Game at episode 5.
Okay.
To watch Tomorrow with You.
Yeah.
It's a Shin Mina drama.
Okay.
So it's like a I've never read the book, but it's like The Time Traveler's Wife.
Oh, really?
By Audrey Niffenegger. Yeah.
Oh, so I love that book.
She gets married to this guy who travels to the future and then back to the present.
I guess I'm going to have to try to look for this really fast before it leaves Netflix.
You can try binging it like I have.
Yes.
2 episodes a day.
So is Netflix your primary go-to for watching?
Yeah, but right now I started checking out other apps. There's this new series that dropped, Jiri-san. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've been hearing about it on social media.
Yeah, it's It's also Jun Ji-hyun, the lead from My Love from the Star. So it's like an all-star cast there. So it's on this other app, so that I was forced to download, which forces you to watch 4 commercials for ads.
Is that
for
View?
Ads first? No, it's IQ. I'm not sure what it's called. IQUI, something like that. Or I don't know if it's an Asia thing.
Okay, yeah, because some seem to be more like Asian market things. I've been trying so hard. I think I'm just gonna have to buy a DVD player. I want to watch Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart.
That's on my list too.
Well, I watched it in this very messed up way, trying to like watch it on an Asian app that didn't want me to watch it. And so it kept like switching the formatting. Sometimes it would be like a half hour of just their lips where you couldn't see anything else.
I know you guys like Flower of Evil, right?
Oh, yes, very much.
So after I watched Flower of Evil, I watched Legion G on. Did I forgot if I sent you guys on Instagram that video of him dancing to Twice.
Yes. It was so good.
That's like a palate cleanser. It's like it erases everything I watched about him on Flower of Evil.
Yeah,
you guys were right
like
about the part
nice
where the serial killer guy goes, "Oma." That was really fun. Yeah. That was right on the nose. Oma.
Awesome. Well, that was really all the big questions I had. I really appreciate you kind of like adding a little bit of like your perspective to this drama, because I think it was a really fun drama that touched a lot of people. And then hearing like kind of you had a pretty unique perspective, and we don't see dentists unless they're like, apparently serial killing or abusing children.
But wait, I have to add something.
Yeah,
something that wasn't authentic.
Okay.
Because Hyejin was really into buying all these clothes, right?
And right.
She has a lot of brand name bags, like Hermes. Like for each outfit she had like a different bag.
Yes.
So, and do you notice that halfway through the show she changes cars?
No, I didn't.
She said at the golfing episode she had a electric car all of a sudden.
Okay.
So she keeps spending a lot of stuff on clothes and bags. If we are to believe that she really uses her salary to buy all this stuff, but she only has one employee. She doesn't, right? She doesn't. Her assistant is also her hygienist and also her front desk person, and she doesn't hire another person to solely be a front desk person.
That's a very
and
good
then she only has one dental share. She doesn't. If it were me, I'd spend money on upgrades. Right?
Instead of more sparkly high heel shoes.
I know. So that's awesome. The inaccurate thing.
I did wonder about, her assistant was basically everything in the office.
Yeah.
And her best friend, so.
And then she's only worked a few months, right? In Gongjin.
Yeah.
So she hasn't actually recouped her investments.
Right. Yeah. Well, her clothing game, definitely I felt some clothes envy there. So you're saying that not all dentists get to have
I don't buy Hermes, definitely.
Oh, well, that's, I guess, part of the fantasy of it. Well, it was really awesome to get to have a chance to talk to you and hear a little bit more about your perspective. And, maybe we'll see more dentist characters to come. Or if you ever get brave and want to watch Strangers from Hell, and you can come back and give your 2 cents.
Maybe I will if I have time.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
감사합니다. Thank you for listening to Afternoona Delight. Make sure to subscribe for more great K-romance conversation. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Afternoona Delight Podcast for more information on our podcast, behind-the-scenes photos, and, of course, pics of our favorite oppas and anis. Annyeong!